From Hollywood, California, welcome to Reza Riffs with your host, Keith Reza.
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah, dude.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing? Give me 2 seconds.
No worries.
Yeah, man.
So you found the coffee, huh?
I found the coffee, but then on the way back, I guess I'm at a Fairfield Inn that's also a Town Place Suites. It's
Right.
been very, it's been very confusing. Very confusing with Uber drivers, and it's been a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, before we started, I wanted to let you know how proud of you I am because we've only known each other for 2 years, and right when we started to talk, you were just getting famous, and now you're super super famous, just by all your hard work and stuff. And I just want you to know, you are my favorite comic. I'm just, it's an honor to be your friend, and just how proud I am because you know how comics are like usually bitter and stuff, but whenever I
Yeah.
see you do great things, I'm just like so much love and proudness for my end for you. So I'm so happy
Thanks,
for you.
Keith. I really appreciate it, man. It's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So but yeah, and then your podcast is going great with Erica, and I think like that I think she's really, helped you too, and I think like that's just so awesome.
Yeah, she's cool, man. She believes in me when I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, man. So thank you so much. I re-listened to the first interview, so I don't ask the same questions.
Okay.
You know what I mean. So it's not gonna be any of the same questions, buddy. It's gonna be.
All right. If I start to answer one of your new questions with an old answer, would you cut me
Well, that's kind of what I'm hoping.
off?
But but no, but what are your thoughts? Because like this is in the news. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts about the Gene Hackman thing?
Dude, what's the update? So when I first heard it said like there it wasn't suspicious,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I feel like whenever you find a full family and a dog, I feel like it's quite a leap to say it's not suspicious. But did something else come out that they
Well, so I mean, first of all, I thought Gene Hackman died like 20 years ago. But you know what I mean? But
yeah. I
but
was
when
very surprised that his dog was still alive.
yeah,
Yeah.
so because they found two dogs starving or whatever. This is something, I mean, there's no evidence, so this is just us, talking and stuff. But yeah, I think that there is some suspicion, and I have a theory.
What's your theory?
So my theory is, and like I said, there's no evidence to, back this up. So this is just me like starting shit, I guess. But my theory is his wife accidentally bumped into him, right?
Mhm.
And he fell, and he's like a 99-year-old guy, and she's like, "Holy shit, I just killed Gene Hackman." And she loved him so much that she just OD'd on pills or whatever.
Oh, like she Romeo and Juliet it?
Yeah, yeah. And like I don't think she
Hard to realize.
purposely meant to do anything, but
Right.
you push an old guy, that's what happens.
Yeah, when you kill
Yeah.
your when you have pets, you're essentially murdering the pets.
Yeah, so I think like when you're that upset, you don't really, because if it were happened to me, right? If I was married to Gene Hackman and I
Yeah,
accidentally killed him, I'd be like, "Holy shit, I just killed Gene Hackman." I'd take my dogs to the pound, right? And the
sure.
pound person would be like, "Why are you dropping off Gene Hackman's dogs?" You know what I mean? So like I'd be
Yeah.
very I don't know.
You know,
I don't think it was in her mind. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I don't know if anyone left a note, but I heard that one of the dogs left a ripped up piece of paper towel.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk to someone about that because I thought it was just so, I mean, everyone dies, so I get it, but I just thought it was just so weird because, it kind of reminded me of the whole Phil Hartman death thing in a way.
Yeah, yeah. On the topic of death and comedians, I also feel like I have this thing in my head where I think it's important the way that when I die, it's announced. And so like for instance, like sometimes I get an email from Carnival Cruise Line and it'll say like we've lost one of our own. And it'll have like a comedian died. And I was like, I really don't. I'd love to get off that email list.
Right.
Like this one time I was in San Jose and I was driving to Rooster Tea Feathers.
Oh, that's a great club.
The great club. It's a great club, and I love them there. Here's my only problem with it. And this truck almost ran me off the road, and I just kept thinking, God, if I die, I just don't know if I want Variety to say that I was on my way to Rooster T. Feathers. It's just a bit of a silly name for a club. I just hope I'm going to an improv. I hope I'm going to a theater.
Right.
Dying in a private jet is the ultimate successful death.
Yeah.
They go, man, that guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Do,
like, oh, Jamie Lissow dies on the way to a half full Rooster T. Feathers.
Do you think that there's something wrong with us because we're comics because we think that? Because I don't think a normal person would care. You know what I mean? But like I
Yeah.
think about my death all the time where like I don't think about how I'm gonna die. I think about like the jokes people are gonna like I kind of want to know these jokes that they're
Mm.
gonna post just so I
Hmm.
could say, oh, they're funny or not. You know what I mean?
Would you give permission, because I would, to all your friends to have at it as far as joking if you died? Because I would say go ahead with me,
Of
whatever you
course.
want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I just would like to know the jokes so I could kind of
Yeah,
know.
the only way to do that is to fake your own death. The only way to really find out.
Yeah, we should do it. Fake our own death.
Dude, I have all these thoughts about how I don't have a great idea yet, but I really want to get a laugh after I die. I would like to get one more laugh after
Yeah.
I die. And the only thing I've thought of so far is you come to my funeral. You'll be invited.
Oh, thank you.
I can get your address before we hang up because you're going to be invited. And
I'll
plus,
tell jokes at your funeral.
dude, with a plus one. We're not going cheap here. And as you come up to my it's gonna be open casket, right?
Yeah.
And then you come up there, and when you look in the casket, it's just my legs. They
Oh
both.
my God.
You think I'd get a laugh?
That would be great.
That's all I got.
Oh man. But yeah, I think I would want to die, the chances of doing this are pretty slim, I guess, but I'd either want to die doing stand up like Dick Shawn or whatever, where
Mm,
like the whole audience doesn't know what's going on,
right.
or die like having a lap dance or having sex or something just to
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Just to confuse whoever's doing
Yeah.
it. Like,
It'd be cool to die during sex, and you wouldn't have to pay for it.
yeah,
You might
exactly.
save that money.
Well, you get robbed.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh, they'd be like, there's another client who died while I was giving a lap dance. Can we take his wallet before you throw him in the dumpster?
Hey, I have a question.
Sure.
A friend of mine was on stage the other day. This happened to me once. I thought I was having a heart attack on stage at
Yeah.
Naples, Florida. I want to hear a quick story. I may have told you this already, but
Of course. I love your stories.
this one time I was in Naples, Florida, and I had just started dating my now fiance. And you probably know this about us. Like we call each other too much, we text each other too much. We're a little bit like
Yeah.
codependent. And I was at Naples and and I started having like chest pains during one show. I was like, that's weird, whatever. And I still had another show. So I texted my girlfriend who's a doctor and I said, this is what's happening. Like, what should I do? And she's like, I don't think you're having a heart attack. I think it's muscular. Take these anti-inflammatories, but let me know if anything changes. And we hang up because I gotta do another show.
Right.
So unbeknownst to me, my girlfriend's sister is coming to the next show. I don't even know she lived in that area. I didn't even know she was there. She just happens to be coming with a couple of her friends to that
Right.
show. She's out in front of the show. So the first show gets out. She's out in front of the show, and the owner comes out and he goes, "Hey, we're not letting anybody in for a while. We're gonna make room for an ambulance. Someone has collapsed inside, right?"
Oh my God.
This is all happening at once. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if
Right.
her sister's there. I don't know their names. And by the way, my shows, it's a lot of older people. I'll bet that people are calling like Uber ambulance. Like it could be, I could see people going outside going, wait, that's my ambulance. It's not an uncommon thing. Her sister outside, I'm in the green room, phone's on do not disturb, going over my notes. Her sister calls her and she goes, "Hey, I'm at Jamie's show." And Erica's like, "Oh, that's cool." And then her sister goes, "Yeah, I can't get in. There's an ambulance. I guess somebody collapsed inside the club." And I had just called her and said that I was having chest pains. So she freaks out and she's calling everybody. She's calling the club, she's calling whatever.
Yeah.
And I finally get on the phone with her. And dude, she's crying. And I'm like, finally, proof of love. And I tell her I'm okay or whatever. But I kept thinking about how if you're in a show and a
Yeah.
comedian has a heart attack and dies, how long is it till you get to leave?
Yeah, I know exactly.
You
Like, do they give you a refund for the tickets or like what's going on here? You know what
you
I
pay
mean?
your tab, right? Like say I feel like if I've done 45, I hope to do 45 minutes before I die. Because it would
Right.
like to do like 11 minutes and then there's like, oh, do we give them half their money back? It's a it's an
Oh man.
unwritten policies.
Oh, that's the greatest story. I mean, I feel bad for Erica in the story, but it's actually kind of funny in a way. You know what I mean?
It was so fun. Yeah, she was very upset. And I will say, as a comedian, I am very insecure and have all this imposter syndrome. So her crying at my not death
Yeah.
did help our relationship in the way I feel in my security. So I
Oh
do
my
feel bad.
God.
I do feel bad, but that's like, I was basically at my own funeral, Keith.
Uh, no, but like one of the things like I really love about, working with you is, one, because, I'm not just kissing your ass. You are really my favorite comic.
Uh,
And I just I worked with Norm and I work with TJ Miller, but I enjoy working with you the most, I feel, because your crowds are so different than the crowds I'm used to, and it really helps me be a better comic. And I feel like when I do good when I open for you when you do Southern California sometimes. When I do good when I do with you, I feel like, I accomplished that. And then when I do bad, I feel, hey, I gotta get better. You know what I mean?
you do really well in front of my audiences. I've had openers that never want to do it again. Like that's
Really?
good for me because for anybody that doesn't know, it's a bit of a very specific. It's an older crowd, a little bit conservative, and so yeah, I've had guys where maybe they don't do any research at all, and they have a little bit of a tough set or something, or they feel like I think you're right though. I think that's a big part of comedy. Back in the day, when you did the Tonight Show, they would have you do your 5 minute set, and then for a week they would take you around and make you do it in front of all these different crowds. So it would be like a Latino crowd, like a young, super young crowd. They would take in front of it. They wanted you to be able to kill with that 5 minutes everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's also like the old Leno advice you hear. I think Leno told Rob Schneider once, but I think maybe Seinfeld told I don't know, it was like some kind of weird hearsay thing, but he said his advice to all comics is get 5 minutes that kills when it doesn't matter what the audience is. Like it's
Yeah.
bulletproof with everybody. But you do great, man. You're great with my crowd. They love you.
Yeah, well, thank you. And it's just an honor to even be in that rotation, because like I said, I feel I learn a lot just, working with you. And I want you to know how much that does actually mean to me because it does make me be a better artist, in my opinion.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, that's really cool. And I think I've told you this before, but my crowd, the cool thing about my crowd too is some of them are so old, you can be as offensive as you want, and they can't walk out if they want to. They have to stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I gotta tell you this story. So I did Irvine with TJ last week, and you know how Sunday shows are usually the worst show of the week? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? it it was actually sold out, and I thought it was the best show of the whole week, right? Like I really feel in my heart, I could tell you, it was probably one of the top 10 best sets I've ever done, right? And the improv recorded it. They haven't sent me this, but one of the hosts, he was recording the audience reaction. So he sends me the audience reaction. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great because I had the best set. He gets the two people up front, and the whole 20 minutes I'm doing it, these guys aren't laughing at all.
That's amazing.
So like I'm just thinking, holy Lord, it went really well to me, but these guys are just not.
Dude, that's so funny. Dude, you just reminded me, that's a hilarious story. The other day, my friend was recording like a bunch of sets at this club with me. He was the opener, and he had one camera kind of like backstage on the audience that would move around, and then he had a camera on him. And one of his sets, I snuck behind and I only focused on people that weren't having a good time for his entire set. He was killing, but I found someone on their phone and then
Yeah.
I found someone with their eyes closed for his whole set. I tried to find the only people that weren't having a good time during his amazing set.
But isn't that so funny about comedy? Because I'm not kidding. I was murdering, but these two guys thought I was the worst comic in the world.
There's
And
always going to be those people.
yeah, and I was just like, wow, they're sitting in the front row, and I never would have noticed these two guys unless I watched that camera. And I felt so discouraged about my set.
It is funny too how we give no power to like hundreds of people laughing. Sometimes we only look at if you see one guy frowning, you're like, why is that guy frowning?
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, I wanted to mention this to you because your headshot it went on the flyers, you put as seen as gut filled on your t-shirt. I was wondering, you should probably make that t-shirt,
What
so
do you,
when you sell it and stuff, like people could wear, oh, as seen as gut filled, yeah.
oh, damn, you mean like the little
Yeah.
my Instagram graphic?
Yeah.
Good idea,
Make
man.
that t-shirt. That would be a new cool t-shirt for you.
That's a really cool t-shirt, man.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I'm full of great
It's
ideas.
a
I
good
have
idea, dude.
Asperger's.
I like mixing up my t-shirt every year in case people come see me again. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. And then I wanted to ask you because in this journey of comedy that now that you're selling out and stuff, and you used to do TV, and now you're doing Gutfield and then doing comedy. Are you having any desire to go back to like trying to write your own stuff for TV?
I'm very content at the moment.
Yeah,
At the point where someone just asked me to write, like I would love to do a project. I think I would rather do because I'm so busy.
right.
I think I would rather do one of my hilarious friends project. I wish someone would send me a script and I would read it and be like, this is better than anything I could write. I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind creating something, but the work involved in like pitching it, I think I would love like TJ Miller to go, hey, this is shooting tomorrow. Do you want to be part of my thing? That I would love to do. If it was just
yeah,
thing, I think I would love that. But like the other day, dude, I got unexpectedly when you start doing stuff, you start getting like different kinds of offers. And
right.
I just got a call about doing a book with like a very reputable publisher
You would
that
be great.
that has published like a couple other guys that are way more famous than me. And he's like a fan of mine. And we went back and forth a couple times. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I want to do it. I can't do it. And like, because it was just like so much. Like by the time it was like, yeah, and you're gonna like bring these books to all these cities that you're at, and then we'll promote the book there, and you can sell it. And I just started picturing like carrying boxes of books and
Right.
and I was like, man, I don't know if right now that's in should be on the things to do list. Like, I think it'd be cool to try to be like a New York Times bestseller, like Tyrus and Cat on Gutfeld, to try to like promote the book. And Gutfeld has like 10 books out, and I remember I called him and he said. I go, what do you think about this opportunity? And he was really honest. He said, it is a lot of work, man. And he said, I would do it if you really want to write a book.
Right.
He's, I wouldn't do it for any other reason. I would do it if you really want to. And I thought about it and I was like, sometimes you want to do stuff and other times you want the rewards from doing the stuff. Part of me
Right.
would love to tell my mom, I have a book out. It's in the
Yeah.
store. Like that'd be really cool. But actually doing it, I don't know if it's something I started writing it because it got in my head, but I think I want to wait like a year and take my time and everything. But it's funny how, yeah, like I even like I would love to be on another show like Real Rob or something. But when I look at the resources it took to get it off the ground, I kind of love where I'm putting my energy right now, like in
Yeah.
shows and new hours. And I think I'm concentrating on like a new special is my priority, and then I'll sort of open it up to other stuff.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, you never have to worry about carrying the boxes of books because that's why you have me. Like, I mean, that's what I do. You know what I mean? I'll be like, yeah. But no, I think a sitcom for you would be great. Kind of like Rodney Carrington had a sitcom, but like, where he just called it Rodney. I think we
Yeah.
could do that with you. Just call it Jamie and
Dude, I
just
was thinking of doing the exact same thing. I was going to call it Rodney. Yeah.
that'd be funny too. But
One of one of my best friends used to tour with Rodney, and he helped create that show. One of my
oh,
best friends,
oh,
Mark
nice.
Gross. Mark Gross. That he then went on to write for Mike and Molly. Remember
Yeah.
that show with Melissa McCarthy and everything?
And
Yeah.
Billy Cardell. Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Gardell. Yeah. Now he's
Yeah.
on like some Chuck Lorre project. But yeah, I remember that show. I think I wrote a couple jokes for that show.
Oh, that's awesome. Billy is so funny. Like I saw him at I want to say it was Irvine and I didn't know it was him. Like that's how much weight he's lost.
Yeah, dude. He's lost he looks great. He's a monster, man. He's a great comic. Great. There's a skill to multicam acting that like what's his name? Charlie Sheen has, and just some like Kevin James. There's some of these guys that are he's one of those guys. It's like a
Yeah.
special skill to be able to like crush the the multicam sitcom, and he's one of those guys.
Oh yeah, dude. You mentioned Charlie Sheen. I gotta tell you this because one of his reels came up from his interview when he was doing the Tiger Blood. This is the funniest thing. The lady was like, "So, are there any drugs in the house?" He's like, "If there are, I don't know about it." And he's like, "Well, didn't your assistant like almost OD on cocaine?" He's like, "That's her problem, not my problem."
What happened? What happened to Charlie Sheen?
Oh, dude, I still think Charlie Sheen's great. But I think like that's because I kind of like those type of people. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like the weird, awkward, like because that's who I am in a way. You know what I mean?
There's also something cool about someone that doesn't need anyone else. Like you,
Yeah,
number one sitcom, no matter how much money you have, there's no way you can make more money than being on Two and a Half Men on season 4 or 5. And I also feel like you got to be really careful. You know how in a relationship, you can argue, but there are certain things that if they're said, the relationship is probably over. Like I remember
yeah,
my friend was dating a girl and he was like, "Yeah, we get in these arguments and she keeps telling me she doesn't like my penis." And I was like, "Yeah, I think it's over." Like I can see now, like telling you I don't like your attitude, but when you
right.
don't like my penis, that's not going anywhere. I feel like it's cutting too deep. And with Charlie Sheen, I think everything he said he could have come back from, except for telling the executive producer that his children were trolls or whatever he said. That's like the ultimate, like, I think you burned
Yeah.
the bridge.
Yeah. Oh my God. But no, it's so funny you mentioned Two and a Half Men because one of my opening jokes when I say, "Oh, I'm not the kid from Two and a Half Men" or whatever.
Yeah.
I did that joke at a bar in Huntington Beach, and I was bombing, but that joke killed it. And like they just kind of wanted to see a celebrity, right? So I kind of acted like Angus T. Jones the rest of the set, you know? I was like, so working with Charlie was all that stuff. And this was like 50 people at a bar that's rowdy. You know, Huntington Beach, there are a whole bunch of bros and stuff. So after the show, they're like, "Oh, can I get your autograph and picture?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't do that, because I'm trying to hide out because I don't want to get in trouble for like,
Right.
whatever it's called." And then this guy's like, "Can I at least buy you a drink?" I was like, "Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't drink, but I'll take a Diet Coke." And we're talking, and he's like, "So, why is your name Keith Reza and not Angus T. Jones?" And I'm like thinking fast, and I was like, "Oh, Keith Reza is my stand-up comedy name.
Oh
Angus T.
yeah.
Jones is my acting name." And I swear to God, Jamie, this guy looks at me for a second, like I think he caught me in a lie. He's like, "That makes sense."
That's amazing. Dude, once I was in New York City with Rob Schneider,
Yeah.
we were walking into a Starbucks and he gets recognized like everywhere. And we there ends up being like a line for pictures and autographs with Rob Schneider. And so I'm sort of like helping to be security and organize this crazy impromptu line. Big line. I would say like 30 people. And what was kind of cool is the very first people said something like, "We loved you in Real Rob" to me. And I go, "This is crazy. Like no one ever recognizes me." And so
Right.
that person says hi or whatever, gets a picture with me and Rob. And the next person, I hear people start murmuring that like who I am. They know who he is. I hear murmurs of like, "Oh, this is another guy." And so I never felt better, man. Like all the people acted as excited to meet me as Rob. And the very last people turned to Rob and said, "Dude, we loved like it was a weird movie, like Surf Ninjas or something. We love Surf
I
Ninjas.
love Surf
We
Ninjas.
love." And then the guy turns to me and he goes, "Dude, we love The Hangover. Like you're the best part of The Hangover." And I realized that like the last 90% of the line thought that I was Ed Helms. And that's why they were taking pictures with me.
Oh my God. Did you say, "Oh, well, the third one was my favorite"?
I really did roll with it though. I did a Keith Reza. I just rolled with it. I was like, I'm not going to disappoint these people.
Oh man.
No reason for
I
both of us to be sad right now, you know?
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, man, Rob Schneider, he's great. He's a guy that I mean, I'm still not really over Norm's death, you know what I mean? Like when you lose someone like Norm was kind of like my father in comedy, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And he was really tight with Rob, and to my knowledge, only me and Rob were the only people in the circle outside of family that knew about the cancer. So whenever like Schneider's in Irvine or Brea, I always want to go to see if I can meet him and just say, "Hey, Rob, I really think
you
talking to you would help me." But I always back out because I think he'll think I'm weird or something. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
dude,
ah,
honestly, Rob Schneider. if I were to pick one person I know who
Yeah.
would be the very best to talk to about something like you're describing, it would be Rob.
Yeah.
Like a guy that is very, very insightful and introspective, and I think he would love to have that conversation, honestly.
Oh yeah. Well, next time he's in town, then I'll just grow some balls and go though, because like
Yeah.
that's the one thing. Like I don't want to oh I know Jamie could text, or like I don't use friends like that. I'd rather just do it myself. You know what I mean? And I just think I don't know, like a random fan would go and, but I'm not a fan. I'm a comic, and I just feel like that first awkward 2 minutes is just like okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
he'd love to talk to you. Yeah, Rob's the kind of guy, you know how like when you're getting divorced or something bad's happening, like you're going through a breakup, you know how your calls start going to voicemail,
Yeah.
friends? Like after the second time, they're like, we're done talking about this. We know you're not, but we're done. Or if someone gets sick or something, no, people don't know what to say, so they don't text. Rob's the guy that calls you
Yeah.
every day.
Oh,
Like
that's
he's
awesome.
not the guy that backs away. Like I remember when I got divorced, him and his wife, like I remember being very upset for like a long time, like months. And I remember him calling me and saying, Patty said she thinks you should come stay with us.
Oh my God.
And so I went and stayed with him for a while. And I was like, I don't want to like ask for all this shit. And I remember I went and stayed with him just to be like amongst friends. Like he's a guy that walks towards trying to help somebody in like a situation where other people might not know what to say.
I think that's so awesome that you have that relationship with, with, because I had that relationship with Norman. I think that that's a very beautiful thing. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
He did when I got there, he did have me cleaning the house and taking care of the dog, but I still think that deep inside it was for my support.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He's
Um,
the best.
No, he was great. And then I do have to mention this because I'm friends with someone who just loves you more than life itself, Christy Swanson. And you were so nice that you did a little cameo for her when I opened up for you in the ice house. And I told her, I was like, oh, I'm going to interview Jamie again. You want me to say hi? She's like, yes, tell him I love him. And then she's like, tell him we should do celebrity wife swap. He'll think it's funny. I was like, oh, what's that? Oh,
I
yeah.
love Christy Swanson, and I think I told you, I had not seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, it's great.
I
I
had
thought you
never,
did saw it. I thought you watched it.
so I texted you. I had never seen it, and then Erica was like, "It is my favorite movie," and so we watched it. And I texted you like that night. What a great movie! She's so good in that, man.
Oh yeah. She's great, man. And it just really brings joy to my heart to like when she listens to this will make her smile. And I think like that's a lot of joyful because it's just me mentioning, hey, she loves you. You know what I mean? Like that's what I like to do. I like to bring joy
Yeah,
to
I love her back, man, and I love how she. I like when I have a few people that will comment on all of my posts. Like it makes me feel like they're kind of like taking an interest in watching. And whenever I see a Christy little comment or something, it makes me happy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. What about a Keith Reza comment? Does that make you happy?
Love a Keith Reza comment, dude. Love a Keith Reza comment.
Uh, Oh man, so I have four more quick questions for you. I wanted to because I know that maybe you can't even talk about this, but I know you were writing The Animal too, and then like whatever happened. But I have a great idea for a movie that stars you.
Okay,
Yeah, I want to see like if I pitch it on the podcast, we still have the rights, so no one's going to steal it. But I want
let's
to
do it,
see.
man. Let's
Okay,
hear it.
so here's my pitch, and we should
So
write
far, I
together.
love it because I'm
It's
aware of it. I mean, so far, I am like,
All right. So
okay,
so Jamie, you play a D-list celebrity like who was huge in the 80s or whatever.
okay.
But now, your careers, drugs, rock and roll, sex, stuff like that. So you do these Comic Cons where you just sign autographs, right? And
Hmm.
you're like, I can't find another movie. And you're walking home and you see the mafia, right? And they're murdering someone of importance. And you're like, holy shit, that's the mafia. And they look at you and they look at you and they're huge fans of whatever show you're on and they're like, Jamie just witnessed us murdering, John Smith. And you're like, I gotta get out here. So you run to like witness protection. You're like, hey, you're not gonna believe me, but I just saw, the mafia murder, John Smith. You gotta get me out here. Witness protects me now. I'm a celebrity. You know what I mean? So they
Hmm.
throw you into witness protection, but into the smallest city in the world. We're talking like fucking Livermore or something where there's only like 500 people, and all those 500 people know who you are. So the whole witness protection thing doesn't work, and they're like, "Hey, Jamie, what are you doing in Livermore?" And you have to lie because you can't, you don't
Mhm.
want and you're like, "Oh, I'm filming my big comeback movie. It's about a
Okay.
it's about a murder, right? It's kind of like Bowfinger meets My Blue Heaven." And but there's no movie, and then you are like telling the whole town, so you're making this movie. Deadline picks up an article, right? Oh, and then the mafia sees this article. They're like, oh, we got to go to Livermore to pop Jamie off. And then they get it, and instead of popping you off, they say, listen, we'll finance this movie because we want to know the world. We want to show the world that you don't fuck with the mafia. And you're like,
Yeah.
excellent. And now you're making a movie, like you're like
I
all
like it, dude.
scared. Yeah, I think
I
we could
love it.
do it. I think we could do it.
I love the movie, dude. I love
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I'm not the best pitcher, but once we get the script, you're gonna have to pitch it. But
I
you
think you're a
know,
great pitcher. You're a great pitcher. And then I'm picturing when the mafia shows up to the town and they have guns and stuff.
yeah,
Everyone just thinks that we're filming the movie. So no one,
exactly, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah, and you're not even acting like you're literally scared.
Yeah. And we're telling people that we have special cameras from Elon Musk. You can't even see them. They're so small.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. So that will be our little project the rest of this year, and we'll get it pumped up for 2026. We'll like
We call it one more hit.
one more hit. I love
Come on.
that.
Come on.
Oh, oh, that's perfect.
Come
All
on.
right. Dude, yeah, we'll do a once a month Zoom meeting for an
All
hour.
right.
Just write it, and then we'll get this done. I'm
Love
excited.
it. Love it.
Uh, all right, so seriously, here's my final questions for you because I do want to respect your time. I know you're in New Mexico, but I wanted to ask you, what is your dream now that?
Not to interrupt you, but I feel like the best time to not respect someone's time is when they're in New Mexico.
Oh,
You know what I mean? I feel like you're helping me out here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
well, I didn't know if you wanted to go to Roswell or whatever, but
I'm
oh,
sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, no. I wanted to ask you now that because when we talked before, your dream was like, hey, just to get known and just do comedy, and now people are knowing you for your comedy. Like, what is your dream now as a comic? Like, are you in your happy zone, or do you think, hey, I can and will accomplish more? Like,
So you know what's funny, man? I have like I write my goals and dreams like every week, like
yeah,
every Monday. I kind of write things, and it's cool when you see something happen, like that you wrote a year ago. You're like, oh, this is cool. And I have a very good answer for you, but it's not very comedy centric.
it's
But
fine. Yeah,
my new goal, I kind of love what I'm doing, but I'm noticing that certain weekends are mentally better than other weekends, and I'm noticing that the weekends where I feel really great about comedy and feel like I'm really on my purpose and everything is when Erica, my fiance, is become like my road manager, like legitimately helps me so much when she got like she does. She's a friggin' doctor, but when she's with me, she does all these things that are unbelievable. Like she sets up my merch and like when I forget something, she goes out into the crowd. She just does like these little things that your girlfriend would probably do, but a
right.
road manager might do, right? And I'm noticing that like when I'm on the road with her, I do get out and go to Roswell or I go to whatever festival. When I'm alone, I find I don't do as much and I'm mentally not that good. So my new goal is to have every weekend on the books be a weekend where I'm like super excited about comedy. I have her with me
Yeah,
every single weekend. Like she's part of my touring. Like I only tour when she's available. Only shows that I love. And then the rest of the time, I want to be with my kids, our kids, her kids with her. And I think my other little dream is to just have our podcast be a little more a part of like I'll tell you a little thing that we're working on that is
yeah,
part of my absolute dream. And I feel like I put this into the universe and I feel like it's happening. So I had dinner with somebody recently. I want my podcast with Erica I want something to do like locally. So like a podcast or a show where I could do it at home, like in Boise, Idaho, with
right.
her, and then still do these awesome gigs on the road. I want something like I get jealous of like the Theo Vons, where like if they don't want to tour, they could just do their podcast and chill at home and go to the same gym every day, same coffee house. That's something that I feel like I'm missing is like that thing to be creative at home. And
Right.
we just were talking about making our podcast is afraid to ask, and we answer like medical questions, and I'm funny. And I just recently I was like, I think this would be good to film like a television pilot.
Oh,
Like
that would be great.
like like a love line. Like remember like
Yeah.
Love Line with Dr. Drew? And just coincidentally, I end up having dinner. I mentioned it to Eric. I go, I'd like to do this. Like, I'd like to film this pilot for us. And that night, I had dinner. Randomly, a guy that was on Gutfeld with me just happens to be a guy that has a very similar type of thing. He has like a show on TV that's kind of similar to this. And we were sitting at dinner, and he brought two friends, and the two friends just happen to be fans of mine and the podcast, and they produce his medical show
Oh my gosh.
on a stage. And so we got talking, and those guys are going to film the pilot with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was,
Congratulations,
and
Jamie.
dude, it was the evening that I brought it up for the first time that
Oh my God.
we had dinner. I didn't know I was going to meet any of these people, and Erica was with me, which is like a weird coincidence. And so we're going to go down and film this pilot. And so my dream would be like to get that pilot going, something to do at home. I would love to do something with. How cool would it be to work with the person that your partner in life? Like, wouldn't it be cool to? I know some
Yeah.
people like with my ex-wife. I would not have. We were better separate.
Ex-wife, I don't want her involved.
Dude, remember social distancing? They said you got to be 6 feet apart. I had to
Right.
actually get closer to my ex-wife to get to 6 feet. But that's kind of my dream is to be very, very excited for every show that I have. So like where my calendar is filled with, dude, like Hyenas this weekend in Albuquerque. I
Yeah.
count this as like this is part of that plan. Like sold out shows, and it doesn't have to be New York or LA. It's just got to be like a place where they care about comedy. It's a good market for me. All the shows are sold out, you know,
Yeah.
and we're all happy to be there, but also having a little more life balance at home.
Well, that's so awesome because it seems like that, you're gonna accomplish that dream. So like that just makes me more proud of you, man. Like that's so great. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, man. And like the way I compartmentalize stuff, and it's easy with Erica's not in the business. And so when I tell her things, I have to tell her in a way like I have to go, hey, TV shows don't usually they don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Podcasts usually don't go anywhere. And so I go, here's what I can promise you and guarantee you, and then I don't know anything else. And so like with her, I go, I can promise you I can film and edit an amazing pilot. I
Right.
promise you I can get the studio space and we will have a tape that we're very proud of. Will it become a TV show? I have no idea. But will I post it on Instagram and it'll be cool? Yes, 100%. And if we want to do another episode, we'll just do it and I'll post it on Twitter
That
or
would be awesome.
but like so I try to compartmentalize what can I control. I know I can do this show. I don't know if you're going to see it on, I don't know if it's going to be on Netflix or select JetBlue flights,
Yeah.
but I try to control what I can and promise like I promise you we'll have this pilot and then we'll go from there.
That's awesome. I mean, you have this, you have your new movie, One More Hit, that I'm gonna help co-write. uh,
You almost got a spit take out of me, dude.
you have your sitcom I'm gonna help co-write too. Like it's gonna be great. I'm
Yeah,
actually
we got a
I'm
lot of
act
good projects on the horizon.
yeah, I'm actually not kidding, Jamie. I'm gonna help write this script and send it to you for notes, and we're gonna like
Yeah,
we're
I think I sincerely, I'm not joking at all. I think you would be a hundred times better pitcher than me if we went in a meeting together.
really? Oh my God.
Yes.
Well,
I
well
feel
you
like I'm not joking at all. Like I feel like you have like the idea and you have it like a clear vision of it and the way you describe it is like I really like it. So I
yeah.
think we would do it together. We would pitch together.
Okay, let's do it. I mean, I'm not good at pitching, so you're gonna have to like, help me get rid of some of that stuff, but we
Dude, in
can
the middle
learn.
of the meeting, we're gonna have two guys come in with guns.
Yeah.
From the It's gonna be like
Make this movie or
yeah,
we
yeah.
gotta put that scene in.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like,
But
and then they walk out, the guys with the guns walk out and they go, I thought pitching a movie was hard. They just said yes.
uh but no, man, like that's so cool, dude. I'm so happy for you, man. That's great. Like seriously. But no, man, podcasting is fun. You're like, you know what's hard? Like you mentioned Theo Vaughn and stuff, but like when people I don't want to say like names or whatever or publicists, but I think you and I talked privately about that. But like when a publicist who's just not really very nice and they kind of bully you and then they pitch a guest, like I'll give you an example. They pitched a guest. I don't mind interviewing people. I love interviewing people, but I kind of had like hatred towards this person
Oh,
because
wow.
they were so mean to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like so
Right.
mean and really mentally exhausting me. And I was like, okay, I'll interview them. And I wasn't being like before I did, I wasn't being very respectful to the artist because it's like I kind of am just doing it to show them, hey, look, I do you guys favors too. You know what I mean? Turns out I interviewed this guy. He was the coolest guy in the world. Like I really liked him. And after the interview, like I actually bought his book on the Kindle because, I thought, you know what? I could have done better like actually reading the book and like having good questions and stuff. And I just thought he was such a great guy and I kind of felt very hypocritical on that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I've had that experience. But isn't it nice to be self-reflective and just go, "Hey, I'm going to do this next time"?
Yeah,
Because I feel like
yes.
that's the issue with a lot of people is that they don't do that part of it. Then I think it's all good, you know?
Yeah, and I guess the what I was trying to say is like it doesn't matter if people are mean to you, you can't really take that out on someone else if they're
Right.
representing, you know what I mean? And I think like
Yes.
that's a thing I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah, dude, my manager told me very early on because I go, he like did something that was supposed to be for me, like in my best interest, but it was like rubbing someone kind of the wrong way. But
Yeah.
in his heart, he felt like he was doing me a solid. Like he didn't want me to have to film a Gutfeld and then drive an hour to do like a radio show. He just thought it was like too much and it'd be too late and I'd be exhausted. And he handled it in a way that was like the guy got kind of pissed, right? But in the same
Right.
like does not do it. And he told me early on, he's like, sometimes I'm gonna maybe not reflect like you would want people to think you are. And he's like, you are allowed to when you get on that podcast, say, I'm sorry about that fucking asshole.
Right.
You're allowed to go like this guy sometimes takes it too seriously and says the wrong thing or whatever. And I'm sorry, that's not me. He's like, that's part of this relationship is you making sure that like if I do something for you, but I don't do it in the right way or I get angry, he's like, part of this is for you're allowed to go. You're not talking shit if you go, yeah, dude, my manager's a maniac sometimes. I'm really sorry,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of a cool, you know, little green light to have.
I think your manager's great. He's very nice and I really like him. I think he's a good dude and that I think that's another reason why I really like working with you is because you're surrounded by good people on your team, and it just makes the show itself more easier and more fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Oh, my manager, man. I back in the day, like when I did Montreal Comedy Festival, I signed with Dave Becky, who's like Chris Rock's manager, and like I mean
Yeah,
Louis C.K., Kevin Hart at the time, and I had a great experience with him. It was very brief. I was one of
right.
the like, I was hot for a minute, and then they like you eventually call and they go, "Hey, Dave's not available, but you're going to talk to this other guy," and then eventually,
The junior manager.
yeah, and then eventually you're on the phone, and you're like, "I think this guy's mopping." And the office is closed. Like you keep getting shuttled to other people. And so I eventually left. And I remember people used to go, what's the difference between an agent and a manager? Like what is the difference? Why do you pay all this money? And back in the day, I did not have an answer. Like I was
Right,
bullshitting. Like the best thing about being with Three Arts and Dave Becky was telling your friends you were with Three Arts and Dave Becky. It was the
right.
best part. It felt good to say it. And this manager that I have now, this man, I don't know if I told you, but he used to book Rob Schneider. He used to be an agent. And I used to
Yeah.
drive around, I would hear him and Rob talk these deals, and it was so fun. Rob always, to his credit, he would take all his calls on speaker so that I could hear what was going on and learn about the business. And man, you'd hear like money amounts being thrown around. I was like, what is happening? They're giving him more for travel than I make in a weekend. Like, what is happening? And it was great. And I noticed that I remember one day Rob said, man, my daughter Elle is doing a concert next week, and I really wish I could go, but I have like these shows or whatever. And I remember him saying, let me see if I can take care of that. I think it's really important you go see your daughter. And I was
Oh, that's awesome.
like, what? Like most agents, they just want that 10%, man. And like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
but he smoothed it out with the club. He told them what was going on. He made sure Rob went to it. Like he really cared about his life. I noticed that half the conversations were like, I could book this gig, but you're going to be gone too long. I don't think you should.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy. My agent used to just like everything we got. I think my old agent, I don't have him anymore. My old agent's auto reply was just, we'll take it.
Right.
His auto reply was like, we'll do it. Like every gig. And dude, this,
Which is good to a degree, but it's also bad in a degree too. You know, like do you remember triple runs where like
of course.
they they say, okay, it's three shows for like $5,000. You're like, oh, this is awesome. What they don't tell you is that three shows are in three different states.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just crazy drives, and none of them are comedy clubs. Yeah. Oh, 100%, man.
Oh man. So Jamie, my last question for you is if you could go into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, knowing everything you know now, what advice would you tell yourself?
So I have a little trouble with this question because there's part of me, I made so many mistakes.
Right.
So many mistakes. Like after the reason I was not with Dave Beck anymore was a lot because of me. I thought you did the Tonight Show and you did a bunch of TV shows and you got some heat and you met with all the networks and then you just went home and they called you and then you would get a TV show. I didn't know you had to do anything. I thought you just like waited for them to give you the thing. And so I was kind of partying at the time and feeling like, oh, I'm the best, everyone loves me. And then like after 5 or 10 years, it sort of all went away. And
Yeah.
I notice now, like with my new Gutfeld thing, I'm so much older and I work so much harder. I don't drink. I work so hard, dude. Like I work almost from I'm scheduled for like if I do a comedy club, it's not 3 hours because I'm doing three shows. It's like media for 3 hours in the morning, doing my Instagram post for 2 hours, making shout out video. It's like a real job now. Like we're advertising and everything. And I'm scared because if I were to go back and tell my younger self, dude, if you do this, you're going to
Yeah.
get to this place so much sooner. You're going to do this. If I told myself that, I don't think I would be as appreciative as I am right now. So
Yeah.
and also like even with my ex-wife, like that was a bad matchup. But if I didn't do that, how would people, what, I would have no jokes for Gutfeld.
Do you
No
think if you
jokes. I
didn't do that, you wouldn't have met Erica either?
wouldn't have met Eric either. We both went through, Eric and I both went through really, really tough divorces and kind of marrying like the wrong person. We both had like we both kind of chose the wrong person. But without that, without something to compare it to, there's not a day that goes by where I don't text Erica or where I don't at least think this is way too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's way too good to be true. Like she just asked me to friend of hers is going on a big trip to do like wedding, like renewing wedding vows or something. And they're going to Italy and she's like, it's gonna be really fun. I'd love you to go. We should go. And I looked at my calendar and I was like, man, I have like a pretty good gig that weekend,
Right.
like the best gig of the year. And she was like, I go, I don't know what to do. I have like the best gig of the year. And she's like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? You just tell me we can't go.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize you were allowed to tell people you can't go. Like in my previous relationship, you're going and you
Right.
have to deal with the fallout. And with her, it's like, oh no, you just tell me that's your gig. And then we make other plans and we tell them, sorry, we can't make it. Like, what are you talking about? Like to be like so in line with, and I feel like if I didn't have that to compare it to, I feel like it's you don't get the good stuff without the bad. So I don't know if I would change anything, Keith. I think I
Oh
would go
my God.
back in time and say keep doing what you're doing. And I think I'd spend my time searching for baby Hitler. By the way, they say like baby Hitler, like you gotta be careful going back because you're killing a baby and it's hard to explain to people
Right.
you're killing a baby and no one's gonna believe you because you're a time traveler. I would kill toddler Hitler. I'll bet he's an asshole by the time he's a toddler. And people go,
Yeah.
you know what? You shouldn't kill toddlers, but that kid, he was doing
Yeah.
some crazy stuff, dude. The signs were there,
That's true. That's true.
Teenage Hitler. I'm just saying, give it a little more
Yeah.
time.
Well, if I was Jamie Lissow and I went to a time machine, I'd go and because I wouldn't want to change everything because I got everything, that I want. I got beautiful kids, I got a beautiful fiance, I got everything I want. I'm headlining, I got this new movie, one more hit in the books. Uh I would go and I'd talk to Jamie. I'd be like, "Hey Jamie, uh, there's this kid named Keith Reza, and you're gonna be his hero." So yeah, I just say that.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. So thank you, Jamie. You're my
Oh,
hero, and thanks for doing my podcast again. I really appreciate you.
absolutely, dude. Love you, man. And I'm not even kidding. We should pursue this. We should write this movie.
I'm dead serious. I'm going to start doing it, and then I'll email you, and then I know you're busy and stuff, but we'll make it work, man.
We could look back on this someday and be like, that's where it all began.
Yeah.
One
All
more.
right. Well, Jamie, I will talk to you soon. I'm sure you'll get some texts when you get some California dates if I could work. So,
All right,
you
Keith.
know.
Sounds good, man.
All right, Jamie, have a great day and enjoy hyenas. And thank you so much for talking to me, man. I love you
You
very
got it, man.
much.
Enjoyed
So,
it as always. We'll do it again. All right, man.
uh,
Talk to you later.
all right, guys. That was the episode. Subscribe, rate, review, and we'll see you guys next week on Reza Riff.